Welcome to Smart Remarks, where I always feel like somebody's watching me, and who knew the cheesy 1980 song would become reality in 2013. So today I might sound like I'm about ready to put on my tinfoil hat, but I've been following this NSA spying business pretty intently. It's pretty disturbing, to say the least. I think it's pretty clear that, as Connor Friedersdorf wrote in TheAtlantic.com, that the architecture of despotism is now in place, whether or not we have actual despotism or not. Perhaps our elected leader are so pure of heart that they'd never dream of using this architecture, this awesome capabilities for anything but noble purposes. But if you're a liberal in particular and believe that, I got two words for you: Dick Cheney. The question is why? Why have we established this total information awareness state? What is the purpose? And the obvious answer is terrorism. This is to keep us safe from the terrorists. And well, yeah, sure, okay, that's plausible. But consider that the list of things from which government must keep you and perhaps itself safe from is likely to grow in the future. There are a lot of people out there, and I don't think they're all cranks, who believe that stock markets are in quite the bubble due to central bank easing. If there is another bubble, and that bubble were to burst, and we were to have another stock market crash, another financial crisis like in 2008, what do you think would happen, particularly if the big banks needed bailed out again, because they're all levered up once again? Let's just say it probably wouldn't go over well. Occupy Wall Street, maybe even the original Tea Party could come roaring back, louder and more insistent this time. But well, if we've got this national spying apparatus in place to keep a close eye on them so they don't cause any trouble, do you think we might be tempted to use it that way? I mean, the protesters certainly aren't terrorists in the sense that we know the term terrorism. And you can always send out the local cops to harass them as needed. But consider that in a country where that's grown more and more unequal in terms of wealth, another crisis could make people very angry, and that could have some serious effects in terms of public order. Look around at what's happening in places like Turkey or Greece. The folks running the show here aren't stupid, and they realize that the peasants here might not remain docile forever. But if you have this nice little technology, this nice little digital infrastructure to keep an eye on the potential troublemakers, it can all be business as usual. You can continue the policies that funnel wealth directly to the top with nothing to fear. Sure, this might cause a continued erosion in civil society, but any attempt at direct confrontation can be identified, monitored, and headed off at the pass. This may not be the purpose of the surveillance state, but certainly it is a purpose. We certainly have the capability to do something like this, and be honest with yourself. If we have the capability, do you really trust that the capability won't be utilized? You might think this is a good idea if you're a liberal and you want the government to keep an eye on right-wing extremists, or if you're a conservative and you think the government needs to keep an eye on the likes of OWS or other liberal extremists. But bear in mind that events and people's reaction to them means that the government won't just be keeping its eye on your political opponents. It'll be watching you, too.